Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nibiru channel. It is January 3rd, 2017. I'm going to share with you more of the photographs that I received from the sighting over Lake Erie, Pennsylvania on or about January 1st, the first day of this year. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of these photographs. Now, this was the sighting, and I believe this was a son and his father, and they were near the shore of Lake Erie, and they looked up and they spotted this large object in the sky slowly moving downward. Now, since December of 2015, there have been several videos that have been recorded of the same object. And I've mentioned this before. Dave Dobbs has done an incredible job trying to put together a model with all of these specific sightings. Now, the video that I produced earlier today and showed a few of these photographs, there were a bunch of comments in the comment section that this was old footage of the space shuttle. Well, that's the most ludicrous comment that I've ever heard. This is not the space shuttle. This is not a jet airplane. And that is not a contrail. It is also not a meteor or an asteroid. I have already checked with the Meteorite Society, all fireball sightings, and it has not been picked up. There have been no impacts. And we were set, according to Dave's model, we were set to have one of these flybys either towards the end of December or the end of January. Now, Dave has looked at some of the other footage. It did not match his model, specifically the fireball that was seen over Bordeaux, France, 2 weeks ago. Now, that was listed as a fireball sighting, and there were multiple people that saw that in the late afternoon sky over France. But if you zoom in to the photograph, and I'm sorry if it gets blurry, but this is all we have. If you zoom into the photograph, you can clearly see the spherical object, dead center. Now, there were some questions about, is this planet in our atmosphere? No, the planet is not in our atmosphere. However, when this planet is going through its orbit, and as it's getting closer and closer, I think it's Dave has this set for about 180 days or 200 days, or I have to look the information up. But there's so much going on right now, my brain is on overload. But this is not the afterburner of a jet airplane. It's not a passenger airplane, and it's definitely not the space shuttle. So we're going to go ahead and look. I have a photograph set up of an earlier flyby that was captured on video and also in a picture. We'll just go ahead and pull this up. Now, I set these two photographs side by side. We'll kind of zoom in a little bit. Again, it's going to be a little blurry because of the distance of the photographs, but you can clearly see they're matching up very, very closely. I would say almost 100%. So you can take a look at what's on your screen. Again, they almost match identically. Now, this photograph that was captured over Lake Erie is much different than the fireball that was recorded over Bordeaux, France, and then a week later, another fireball over the country of Portugal. These look totally, totally different. So we are actually getting down very close to this flyby. And once again, when I say flyby, it doesn't mean that this planet is flying through our atmosphere. It's millions and millions of miles away. But just like the other planets in our solar system, they're millions of miles away, but yet we are able to see them in our nighttime sky. The other planets in our solar system are in specific orbits. We don't know precise orbits of Nibiru or Planet X, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is there is something else within our solar system that we don't know about. And we're trying our damnedest to find out. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move into another photograph here. And this was just another close-up of what we were just looking at. And again, the comparison of the two, I mean, they're quite identical. Now, I'm going to be getting this photograph information over to Dave Dobbs as soon as possible. He's a little hard to reach, but I'm hoping that he sees this video and gets in touch with me as soon as possible, and I'll get these photographs over to him and let him check this out, because Dave has placed himself in a position when he made these models to try to at least coordinate this planet's orbit. And hopefully it's Exodus. Now, I just want to show you a few other things. A lot of people have a lot of questions about the Nemesis solar system, Nibiru, the other planets that are in this small solar system. And I've seen multiple comments. I've gotten emails about this, and people are saying, how is it possible for another solar system to be in our solar system? Well, it's very possible. If you've ever looked up things that occur in deep space, galaxies collide. So how is it not possible that a smaller solar system meshes together with our solar system in transit, in passing? I mean, folks, this goes back all the way 4, 5, 6,000 years. The Chinese wrote about it. The documents are there. The translations were very easy because the Chinese language and alphabet has not changed in 6,000 years. So it was very easy to decipher their writings. The same applies with the Bible. Wormwood, the flood, Noah, the destruction of the earth. It goes on and on and on. And for those of you that know the Bible inside and out, then you should know these things. But looking at this small solar system, and listen, this was imaged by NASA between 1993 and 94 with their ERIE telescope, satellite that was placed out in space, specifically where Dr. Robert Harrington was able to locate this system. They built the craft, they put it into deep space, and they photographed this. The pictures are out there, the evidence is out there. So what makes you think that NASA would spend hundreds of millions of dollars building a spacecraft with an infrared telescope to head out down that direction, in that direction specifically, to photograph this small solar system. Now, within the solar system is a brown dwarf star, said to only be able to be photographed in deep space with infrared technology. Okay, well, we know that. I've done some studies on brown dwarfs. Yes, that is true. As a brown dwarf got closer to our sun, well, naturally, our sun would illuminate this object. Now, is this something that we've been seeing in our skies near the sun for the past several years? It's very highly possible. Very highly possible. But anyways, getting back to the small Nemesis solar system, in the middle, you have Nemesis, as they named it, the brown dwarf. The blue planet here depicts Nibiru, or Planet X. Now, Nibiru is said to have a moon. Is this a possibility of some of the objects that we've been seeing in the sky over the past few years? It's very highly possible. There are two other planets that were named in the solar system, Arbota and Helion. They are both said to be large gas giants. So, how would they actually know that? Well, NASA would know that because they imaged this small solar system coming in towards our solar system. I mean, where did you think this information began? I know a lot of people think when they're trying to debunk this was just all dreamt up. It's a big sci-fi story. Well, it's not. NASA has been investigating this since the beginning in 1983, when Robert Harrington first spotted this small solar system. And then he began his studies. The same applies with Carlos Ferrata. There have been many, many astronomers over the years that have delved into research of this small solar system. Now, what are the possibilities of this solar system making its way through space over several thousand years, picking up other planetary bodies and bringing them with it? I've asked that question. I've been given the answers, and the answers are that is very, very highly. It is a high possibility that the brown dwarf definitely attracts and can maintain and hold planets within its orbit. Now, people ask, well, what are you turning your Nibiru and Planet X channel into an earthquake channel? Well, that's kind of a dumb question, because if you've listened to me from the very beginning, I've warned everyone, and yes, consider it a warning. I've gone over the information about when the brown dwarf Nibiru, when this gets closer to the Earth on its exodus, it will start to create earthquakes very frequently and in a much higher magnitude. If you don't believe me, go back to July, August, September. Watch the videos. I've gone over the information continuously. As you could see in this diagram right here, earthquakes and floods. The floods will occur due to tsunamis created by the earthquakes. Now, there's been some comparisons to some of the tsunamis and earthquakes, the devastating earthquakes that have occurred over the past few years, and trying to correlate, where this planet is in our solar system and the effects that it is having on the sun. Once again, these are things that I touched on deeply in July and August and September and October and November, and I will continue to reiterate and touch on these subjects. This brown dwarf star is very powerful. It's a very powerful object. There have been deep studies over the past 25 years on these brown dwarfs and the power, the energy that they possess. Now, why do you think NASA and other space agencies would devote so much time, effort, and money into the research of a brown dwarf star? What, because they're bored? No, it's because they know damn well that we were going to have this threat. And since then, they've discovered approximately 2,000 brown dwarf stars in our galaxy. So obviously, they're doing their homework. Let's move on to another photograph. Now, this shows the diagram as it was called the planet of the crossing, because you have the brown dwarf located right in the middle and the other planets and moons around it. Just zoom in here a little bit for you. The planet of the crossing. Now, this is an image that was taken by NASA. The photograph was leaked out. It was all over the front page of the Washington Post, articles written about it in space and astronomy magazines and periodicals. And then all of a sudden, when they discovered that this mini solar system was on a direct path towards our solar system, well, then all hell broke loose. The cover-up starts. I mean, folks, just read the comments under my videos. And you see the direct attacks on me. If you go to any other YouTube channel that does really good investigations into Planet X, Nibiru, the Nemesis solar system, if they have good, credible evidence and they're putting it out there every day, you just take a look at those comment sections. If they're not cleaned up, the hatred that is spewed by these people, that they just don't want you to believe what is happening. It's their job. So once again, if you do some homework, and a lot of you don't have time to sit behind a computer for 8, 10, or 12, or even 14 hours a day, every single day, to do this research, to do your investigations, and to find out what's been going on for the past 30 or 35 years. And then they keep saying, oh, well, you're just going to push the date back another year, push the date back another year. Well, I don't know about all of that. I'm not pushing any dates anywhere. I'm going by the information that's coming in minute by minute. And all I know is that over the years, the situation that we're in right now has been covered up, just like everything else. And they want to continue to cover it up. They want to continue to put disinformation out there. They don't want you looking up in the sky. They don't want you searching for the information. And when you do find the information in the form of a credible YouTube video, you're going to have to deal with these hateful people in the comment section, making up every crazy story and comment. And naturally, they're all attacking me. They attack me personally. I get the death threats. I get the hateful emails. I mean, these idiots even go out and make videos on YouTube channels where they're gathering these people and forming some god awful team to make sure that you are discredited. I mean, these idiots just made a video the other day where they found the coordinates on Google Maps or Google Earth, located my 90-year-old grandmother's house. And just to be hateful and try to alarm me to close my channel down and go away, they place my photographs in these stupid parody videos with photographs of my 90-year-old grandmother's house to try to scare me. I get the hateful emails from these idiots every single day. Why would someone go to that extent if there wasn't something to cover up? Think about it. I mean, it doesn't scare me. But when you're going to infiltrate my family and my personal life over something I'm investigating, well, don't you think that says something? Hey, this guy needs to shut up. He's getting too close. Look at the information he's putting out there. So anyways, that's food for thought. Anyone who watches the videos on this channel, anyone who subscribes or follows this channel, I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. So when you see these idiotic, ridiculous comments, you know not to believe them, because they are direct attacks on me and my channel and the information that we're trying to put out there. And no, this is not the earthquake channel. But I will continue to update earthquake information, because that information is vital for people who live in these areas, because there is a direct connection between Planet X, Nibiru, whatever you want to call it, and these earthquakes, and what is happening to the sun. And I've seen a lot of the comments over the past few months, and people saying directly,